today we
Okay,
will
sir.
use online compiler. Okay. See, here is a download option. Click here, download. Yes. So those people who are using Mac OS, they should download this portion. That means 64-bit graphical installer. This one. Those people who are using Windows, they will download this one. Okay. When you will click this button or this button, a file will download it here. Okay. It takes around 15 to 20 minutes. After that, click on that file. After downloading that file, click on that file, the software will install. Okay. And next day I will show you that how to use that software, not now. Okay. Okay. So today we will start or we will do the program in online compiler. Okay. So any question regarding the download of software? Any doubt? Anyone have any doubt? Please ask
No.
me. Okay, fine. So let's start. So today we will introduce Python or we will write the basic programs of Python. That means how we can write, what is the syntax of Python, what are the basic operations that we are doing in Python, like this way. Okay, so let's start. So everybody open Google Chrome and write Python online compiler, this one. Okay. After that many links will be coming. Open this link, online GDB, online Python compiler, online GDB, this one. Everyone do this. Everyone just open it and then click it. This is the interface. Okay. This is the interface of my online compiler. So anyone have any question regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay. If anyone have any question, please stop me at that point and ask me. Okay. Okay. So let's start. So what is Python? See, we have many programming language like C programming, Java programming, C++, C sharp. These are all programming language, but Python are different than this programming language. Why?
Okay.
Because Python is a very high level and object oriented programming. See, we have C programming in one hand. That is a very basic programming. Okay, C programming in one hand, left hand side, and Java, Python, C++, C sharp in another hand. That means in the right side. So what is the difference between these things? C programming is known as procedural oriented programming. Procedural. Procedural oriented. Okay, what is the meaning of procedural oriented? That means in C programming, every functions and every line execute one by one. Okay, so this is known as C programming. And what are object oriented programming? Like Java, C++, Python, C sharp. These are known as object oriented programming. Okay, so what is the main thing? What are the features of object oriented programming? In object oriented programming, we have 6 features. One is the first thing, object. Second thing, class. That means class and object are the basic things of our object oriented programming. Apart from these two, we have 4 features. One is polymorphism, second one is encapsulation, third one is inheritance, and the fourth one is abstraction. Okay, I am repeating again. Object oriented programming have 6 features. First two is class and object. These are basic features, class and object. Apart from these two things, we have 4 features in object oriented. First one is encapsulation. Second one is inheritance. Third one is polymorphism. Fourth one is the last one, that is abstraction. So these are the 4 features, 4 main features of object oriented programming. So these are basic things about object oriented. So Python is what? Python is object oriented plus high level programming language. That means suppose in Java if I am writing a program around 15 to 20 lines in Java, I am telling about Java. In Java, suppose I am writing a program around 15 to 20 lines. Same program, when I will write in Python, it will be in 4 to 5 lines. This is the difference between Python and other programming languages. Because Python is very high level and all the packages and function are installed in Python from the previous point. Okay, clear? Any doubt? Any question? Anyone have any question?
No,
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So the first topic of Python, it means what? Operators. Everyone can note it down also in your copy. The first topic is operators. Okay, so we have three operators. One is arithmetic operators, second one is logical operators, and the third one is relational operators, or sometimes we also use comparison operators, but these three are mains: arithmetic, logical, and relational. Okay, so first we will do the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators, all of you know, there is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage, whatever, mod. These are known as arithmetic operators. So suppose what I will do here, first I will declare a variable. Everyone see my screen? Everyone can see my screen? That is online compiler.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So first I will declare a variable. So what is a variable? In programming language, we have variables. So what is the usage of this variable? This variable can store a value. We use variable to store a value in programming. So that means when we will do addition, I want two values. That means suppose 1 plus 1 equal 2. That means one is one value, another one is another value. That means two value I want. That means here what I have to declare? I need two variable for two values. Suppose I am declaring one variable, that is x. Okay, then I will give equal and a value. Suppose I am giving 10. Okay, now go to next line. First variable declaration and value are done. Now the second one. Suppose second I am taking y. Again same thing. I am giving 20. That means two variable, two value are given. Done. Now I will write a print statement. So why I will write a print statement? So in every
To
program,
get the output.
yes, yes. So in every programming language, in every program, I have to use the print statement. With this print statement, I can see the output or I can see the result of my program. That's it. I am writing print. I will open first bracket. Within first bracket, I will write x plus y. Done. Let's run. See, here is the run button. I will run it. See, I got my output 30. 20 plus 10, 30. Okay. So addition done. So this is the one process that I can do. Another process I have here. That means by with another process I can do addition also. So I am showing that one also. So everyone copy this one please. Everyone note it down. It is very easy, very basic program. So I am erasing this one and I am doing this second process of addition. So this variable declaration will be common. We need this variable and we need this value, right? So now the second process is what? I will declare another variable, that is third variable. Suppose z. Okay. In z, what I will write? I will do the addition operation in z. Suppose x plus y. Okay. Okay. Now I will write the print statement. Print bracket open close. Within print statement, I will put Z, because why Z? Because Z stores the addition values. This one. Okay. So let's see. Run. See, same thing, same output, 30. So that means we can do in two process. One, we can write the operation within the print statement, or we can take a third variable where we can assign that operation and we can print the third variable like this way. So we have two process. Similarly, like addition, we can do also subtraction. See, minus. I am changing the value. I am increasing the x value 50. Then 50 minus 20. Let's see what happens. 30. Similarly, subtraction, we have multiplication. This is a multiplication sign. Okay. 1000. 15 to 20. Okay. And a last thing, that is division. This is the division sign. See, 2.5. 50 divided by 2, 2.5. So when we will do division, we will use this operator or this sign. Suppose in some cases we don't need this operator for division. We have to calculate, or we want modulus. Module. In mathematics you had done module, modulus. Okay. So at that time, what sign we will use? Just remember, 50 divided by 20, it gives me 2.5. So when I will use this operator for mod, so in programming language, we use percentage operator for modulus. Okay. Now let's see the output. The previous output is 2.5. That is for a division. Now this is also a division, but it's in a modular form. So let's see what happened. See, it is giving us 10. In a whole number it is giving us. Okay. So this is the difference. In some cases, we need percentage sign y to calculate the modulus. And in the simple program for division or something, we only use that division sign. So day by day, when we will do, or when we will get up with your programming, you will know what, at what time you have to use what symbol. Okay. So clear about these arithmetic operators? These are arithmetic operators, or addition,
Excuse me, sir.
subtraction. Hmm?
Sir, can you repeat the last one?
Yes, obviously. See, again I am doing a division. That is x divided by y. That means 50 divided by 20. I am running. This is my output, 2.5. Okay. 50 divided by 20, it is 2.5. Now this is the basic division. Basic division this is. In some cases, we need modulus to find the modulus, okay, of any program or of any number. So at that time, which symbol I will use? I will use this percentage symbol. In programming language, when we will use modulus, or when we will calculate some modulus, we have to use this percentage symbol in programming. Okay, clear? In programming, this percentage symbol means to calculate the modulus, not to calculate the percentage. In mathematics, we use this symbol to calculate the percentage, but in programming language, we use this symbol to calculate the modulus, module. Okay, now let's see what happened. See, it is giving 10. Why? 50 divided by 20, it is not 10, but we are doing modulus, so it is giving the nearest whole number or the nearest integer. So this is the difference between the division sign and the modulus sign. Clear? You will be
Yes.
doing this thing day by day, not today. Day by day we will understand when we will use modulus or when we will use division sign. Okay. Okay. So these are the basic operation of arithmetic operators. So all of you know about this, that is addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. These are all basic arithmetic operators. Okay, so clear about arithmetic operators, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now the next one, what we will do? We will do uh, relational operator. Okay, so let's start with relational operator. So everyone, I think everyone knows about greater than sign, less than sign. Okay, everyone knows about this, Thai.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So let's start. Suppose I am writing a program. I'm deleting this one. Okay, everyone copied it. Now let's start with the relational operator. Give your heading, that is relational operator it will be. So what a relational operator in programming? Relational operator means we can relate something with each other. That means suppose I have two variables. Okay, I have two variables. I want to relate or I want to do something with the relation. Then I will use relational operators at that time. Then I will use relational operators. So that means equal sign, less than sign, greater than sign. These are all relational operators. Suppose I am writing, again I am taking this variable x equal 50 and y equal 20. And I am writing the print statement. Print, I am writing here x greater than y. Is it true or not? Tell me.
True.
True. That means x is seriously or x is greater than y. So let's run, see what it is giving. See, it is giving true because the condition is correct. That means x is greater than y. So it is giving us true. Now I will change this one. I will give lesser than. Let's see what happens.
False.
False because the condition is not correct. That means these are relational operator. Now I will give this thing. Check it. Now listen, guys. One thing. In programming language, when we are checking equality condition, that means equal, that means x equal with y, these things when we are checking in programming language, what happens, we have to put two equal sign like this way. If we give one equal sign, let's see what happen. I am giving one equal sign, let's see what happen. See error, I am getting error. See this line, I am getting error, invalid keyword. So now listen, the main thing of programming, when you people will getting error in any line, see the line correctly. Why you are getting error, first read that line. Why, in which line you are getting error, it will tell you. In this line we are getting error. After that, see the line segment, why it is telling that this is error, then fix it. Okay, so here the error is in print statement. So I told you, in programming language, if I put two equal sign, then it is okay. That means I have to give two equal sign. That means in programming language, when I will check equality condition between two variables or between anything, always use double equal sign. So now I will run. So what will be the output? Tell me. Is it true or false?
True. True.
Why true? Both the value are
Sir,
same.
because we are assigning the value.
No, we why?
False.
No, we are not assigning. We assigned it x equal 50 and y equal 20 in the previous line. But in the print statement, what we are doing? I am checking that the both variables are equal or not. Both the variables are equal.
No,
Hmm?
sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No,
Then
sir.
then let's run. False because both the variables are not equal. Both have different value. Now I will give the equal one. Let's see what happens. 20. X equal 20 and y equal 20.
True.
True. That's it. Very simple. Now the last operator. That means Greater than sign, less than sign, equal sign, you know it now. Now the not equal sign. So how we will use not equal sign in programming? Like this way. Exclamation equal. Exclamation equal means not equal. Okay, clear? Exclamation equal means
Yes,
not equal. In programming language, we like or we write like it this way. Okay, so that means here both the variables have same value, but in the print statement, I wrote x not equal y. So what will be the output?
False.
False.
False. Very easy.
false.
False. Now I will change the value. Suppose I am giving this value as a 10. Then what will happen?
False. Sorry.
No?
True.
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 Because both the different value. Both the variables have different value. Okay. So got it? What are the relational operators?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So you people will do one thing. You people will make C. If anyone want to use this compiler for practice, what you have to do? See, there is a login option. Okay, when you will open this thing, there is a login option. You people can log in this into this compiler with your mail ID. Then what will happen? Then if you write some program, you can save it here. Okay, so this is the facility if you log in with this account. So that's it. Now what we will do? So arithmetic operators and relational operators done. Now the last one, that is very important. Very, very,
Logic.
very, yes, very important. Because with these operators, we have to write logic. Because the programming is totally based on logic. We cannot rigorously memorize, or we cannot do anything memorize programming, right? Every time you have to think what is the question of your programming, and then you have to implement that by logical thinking. It is already depend upon maths and Python is very, very, very much related to mathematics. So you people are in class 11 and 12 now. So please do the mathematics properly. The logarithm part, the statistical part. Please do it very neatly, because in machine learning and artificial intelligence, there is a connection between Python and that part. Okay, so please do your mathematics very properly. Okay, so now we will do the logical operator. So, how many operators we have in logical? Three. Anyone know it? What are the three logical
And
No,
operators?
don't have any
and or.
Yes, these are the two: and, or, and not. Not, not. Okay, and, or, and not. Okay. So let's do. So again, same variable I am taking, x equal 10 and y equal. Only I will take one variable here. That is x equal 10. So let's do one thing. Print. Suppose give x greater than 5 and x lesser than 15. So what I am writing? Print x greater than 5 and x lesser than 15. Is it true?
yes, sir.
Is it true, guys?
Yes, sir.
Because what is the value of my x here? 10. So that means I am writing x greater than 5. It is correct. That is x is greater than 5 and x lesser than 15. Also 10 is lesser than 15. That means the condition which I have given, it is correct. So let's run. See, it is giving true. Now what I will do? Now I will change only one condition. Okay. I will check one condition only. So this condition, let's remain this condition is greater than 5. I am changing this one. X lesser than 9. Okay. So I have two condition. One condition is correct, x greater than 5, and another condition is wrong, x lesser than 9. X is not lesser than 9. Okay. So let's see what happens. See, it is giving false. Why? So what is the meaning of and? In and operator, in and case, what happens? Both the conditions will be correct. In and case, we have to put or we have to write both conditions correct. Otherwise, it will give you false or it will give you error sometimes. Okay. So I have to write the proper condition. That means the both the correct condition. Because what is the meaning of and? And means both. It will check both the condition. This one also and this one also. If this one is correct and this one is wrong, then the total thing is wrong in and operator case. But in or case it is different. See, if I change it or I put it as a or. See, in or case one condition is correct. This condition x greater than 5 or x greater than 9, x less than 9. This is wrong. Okay, let's see what happens. That means one condition is correct and one condition is wrong. Now I will run. See, it is giving true. What happened
Yes, sir.
in odd case or checks only one. If one condition is correct between two, then it is okay for or. But in and, both the conditions will be correct. So it is the meaning of and means both or means only one or this anything. So this is a difference between or and. Clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Anyone have any question? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the last one, what we have? We have not. Not is not so important. Not means what? If you write anything, that means or and before you put not, then what will happen? It will if in suppose I am considering this program. Okay, I am considering this program. Then what will happen? See, if I use not here, then what will happen? It is giving the output as a true, then it will give the output as a false. That means the complementary. That means the not one. That means the complementary one it will give us. Okay, clear?
Sorry,
Any
sir. I
question?
couldn't get it.
Okay, if I write not here, false. Okay, see, I am showing it again. See it very carefully. I am writing the or statement. It is giving true. Okay, but only I will put not here. Only not. I will not change any condition here. Only I will put not. N O T. One bracket will be open before not. Okay. So the result was true for only the or operator. Now I put not here. So now let's see. See, the result is false. Not means what? That means the opposite one. That means the opposite one.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That means it will give the reciprocal of your output. If I use and here, and I am removing not from here. I remove not. Only I write and. What will be the output of this program? Tell me.
Sir, it will be. false.
What? What will be the output?
They're false.
False. Okay. Let's see. False. Very good. Now, if I put not here with and, let's see what happen. Open first bracket. Here write not and end the first bracket here. Yes. True. That means the opposite one. No, this is not. Not means not. Very easy. Very basic thing. So we don't use not in such a manner, and then or is most popular. Okay, more popular. Not in some rare cases we use. So these are the three logical operators: and, or, and not. So any question regarding any operators, arithmetic, relational, logical, anything?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So now what we will do a different thing. Second topic, operators finished. Second topic, that is string. string, string, Python string. All of you note it down. String. string, string. So what is string? So please anyone tell me now, last few programs, what type of variable, oh sorry, not variable, what type of value I enter into a variable? What type of value?
And repeat.
Mm-hmm. What type of value I entered in variable?
Sir, X is equal
Numerical value.
People, your voice is cutting down. So what type of value I enter in the variable? Integer
X.
value. 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes,
5,
sir.
6. These are integers. Right. Integers value I enter in my variable. Okay. Now, what is string? What is string? So in programming concepts, we have two values in Python, not in all other programming language. I am considering Python only here. Just think about integers and string. What are integers value? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are integers value. What are string value? Suppose I am considering one's anyone's name. Suppose Anushka. Okay. So I am declaring a variable x. Wait a minute, guys. Hmm. Suppose I am declaring a variable x. I am assigning a string value here. Sorry. What is string value? Like any alphabet, any word, any sentence. Apart from integer, anything is known as string. Okay. Or character. So I am taking Anushka as an x value. So x is my variable and my value is Anushka. So now watch it properly, guys. Whenever you will give or you will write any string, 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 always use double inverted comma. Always like this way. Always use double inverted comma. Okay. Now I will write a print statement. Print only simple x.
X.
Okay, let's see. It is printing Anushka. If I remove this double inverted comma from here, error, same thing, error. Okay. So every time whenever you will declaring a string or you are getting a string value or you are writing anything string in programming language, not only in Python, in every programming language, always use this double inverted comma. Okay. But in Python, we don't need this double inverted comma. Single inverted comma also can do that thing, but this is only for Python. In another programming language, you have to use double inverted comma. So I am showing you about double inverted comma. Forget about single inverted comma. Okay, it is a good habit. So now I showed you about the addition of integers. Okay, now I will show you some different thing. Anushka,
Yes,
can you
sir.
tell me your surname?
Then
Spell it down, please, or send me in chat. I cannot hear you properly.
J-A-I.
What? I can't be able to hear you. Okay, let me check. I will show you one different thing here now. Where is Anushka? Wait. Mm,
So I have texted it in chat box.
okay, let me check. Okay, Jane. Thank you. So I wrote Jane in different variable. X equal Anushka and Y equal Jane. Done. Now what I will do? Suppose print X plus Anushka Jane. Okay, but see, there is no space between Anushka and Jane. I want to add a space. What I have to do? Anything is coming to your mind?
Multiplication.
What? No, why multiplication?
Multiplication.
Why multiplication? Why I will use multiplication here?
The first page.
Hmm? I want a
Space.
space. I want a space only. I want a space
Subtraction.
between Anushka and Jane. I want a space. How will I add a space? Anyone have anything coming in your mind? You can share with me. Okay.
So finding subtraction.
No, we are we are adding here. Why we will take division, multiplication, subtraction? We are adding. So what I have to do? Let's see. X plus, I will open double inverted comma here. Within this double inverted comma, I will give a space and plus y. That means x plus space. I will provide space like this way. Like this way, I will provide space. X plus space in double inverted comma, because space is also a string. This space is also in programming. Space is also considered as a string. So you have to give space within this double inverted comma. Okay, then plus, then y. Now let's see. So this is the previous output, Anushka Jain. Now I will run my program again. See, a space is there. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, very good, very
Mm.
good. Okay.
And what is replied here?
What? What are you asking?
Asking that what if we multiplied
Okay,
here
let's do. You are telling multiply. Okay.
x multiplied y?
Okay, fine. I will multiply it now. Let's see what happens. Everything in programming, you have to do experiment. So let's do error. Okay, because we cannot multiply a string. See, it is written. can't multiply a sequence by non-int. Non-int means non-integer. Integer means int and str means string in short form. In short form, we say string as a str and integer as a int. That means what it is telling? Cannot multiply sequence by non-integer. Non-integer means string of type str. That means string type. We in string type we cannot use multiplication, subtraction, and division. Only we can do add. Okay, clear? So
Yes.
anything which is coming
Yes,
to your
sir.
mind, apply it in your programming and see what happened. That thing, from that thing you will learn many things. That means what we have to use or what we have to do like this way. Okay, very good. So now the next topic. So that means we finish with operators. That means logical, arithmetic, relational. Now the second topic is string. So in string, the first program is done. That means how we can define a string, how we can print a string, and how we can concat. This is a concat. Concat means to collide. It means how we can concat or how we can add a string with each other. So these three things now we know. Now the main thing of string or the programming, that is the position. Okay, the position. So let's start. So here I have x equal Anushka. So Anushka. So how many letters it have? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So what is the position of A? Can anyone tell me? What is the position of A in here? Only A word, A alphabet basically. What is the position of 1?
One.
One.
Okay. So if I give, suppose if I write
87.
print, within print statement I am writing x, third bracket open close. Within third bracket I will give 1. It means you people told me that the A position is 1. So if I give x1, then my output will be A. Let's see. No, it is giving n. That means the position of n is 1. So if I give 0 here, see now it is giving A. That means clear. The first letter comes with 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4 like this way. So in programming, string starts with 0th position. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
That means the position of A is 0, N is 1, U is 2, S 3, H 4, K 5, A 6. Like this way. So if I want to access K, then what I have to write? 5.
5.
5. Yes. K. Okay, clear. So this way, what we can do? We can find the position like this way. Okay? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, another thing I have to show you. Sorry. Now, I will calculate the length of this Anushka. Okay? The length. So, to calculate the length of a string or anything in Python programming language, what we have? We have a len function. Len. Len function we have to calculate the length in Python. So let's do it. So in print statement, after opening bracket, I will write LEN in small letter. Okay. Again, I will open first bracket. Here, I will give the variable name, that is X, because X holds Anushka. So len X. Done. It means X equal Anushka, my string value. Then print L len X. So what will be the length? Can anyone tell me?
6.
6. 6. Okay. 6. Let's see what happened.
7.
Okay, 7, 6. Okay, let's see. See, it is 7. Now, why 7? Why not 6? So, when you will access, okay, so when you will access only one item means A, N, U, S from the total string. That means from this word Anushka, if you access only one alphabet means A, R, N, U, S, H, this one, then the position will start from 0 in a total string. When you are accessing only one item or one alphabet from your string, then the position starts from 0. But when you are calculating the length of the total string, then it starts from 1. Clear? That means
Yes, sir.
when I will consider this total string Anushka, that means the total length of this Anushka, it consider that it starts from 1. See, the output is giving as a 7. But when I will access only one item or one alphabet from this total string, suppose N, S, anything, then it starts from 0. Okay? Clear? Crystal clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.